Hello, and welcome to I'm trying to figure out which camera I was looking at there. Hello, welcome to a special edition of Backseat Ballers, where we're out of the car and we're going to get a little more in-depth into some actual personal and business aspects here with Ryan from Smoothie King. And
Well, I mean, that's always part of it, right? But everybody remembers the Smoothie King part, but the fractional, my fractional CXO.
Yeah.
It's a thing that gets forgotten by everybody.
Yeah, we just went over what this was going to be, and I had already forgotten.
But it's like one of the most crucial and elemental things that I do, and I really enjoy focusing on, because Smoothie King is just an avenue for me to practice everything that goes on the coaching side for businesses that I do. Right.
Yeah.
So
scoot a little, 2 inches to your left. So you'll line up more with the mic.
Oh, I can move the mic over this way.
Okay, there we go. Is that better? Yeah. So it doesn't fade out on us.
Yeah, right. So, but the fractional, my fractional CXO and the coaching piece is really, the heart and soul of everything I enjoy doing, right? Because at the end of the day, business owners, we all feel like we're on an island, and we've got very low accountability with people sometimes because we can't go to our spouse. I mean, does our spouse even recognize or think through a lot of the same things that we do? And then can we even go to our employees? I mean, how many times did you go to your staff members and actually want to talk to them about real life issues that you're going on and going through?
Well, and if you do, you're going to breed a certain level of familiarity that degrades your ability to be the boss.
Right. Exactly.
So,
and then the nice thing too, like when we think about business ownership and just like the coaching side, one of the things that I always think about is you can learn mistakes from yourself, and that's very costly. Or you can learn mistakes that other people do, right? And then not do them. And so sometimes it's better to learn from other people's mistakes instead of your own.
Yeah.
And it can actually accelerate your business a lot faster, in my opinion, anyways.
No, I agree.
Yep. So Elliot, in terms of your financial background, it's always super interesting because, from an ownership side, I always have a lot of questions for myself, so got a multitude of companies, right? Holdings companies to we're a franchisee. We've got other arms of business entities that we have. And it's like, well, how in the world do you protect yourself, right? Not only financially, but from lawsuits. And, there was an individual that passed away in the system a 3 weeks ago. And, what happens to all your businesses and events and things that happen? Because I'm sure you hear about that kind of stuff every day. Right?
I mean, I have a number of clients every year that pass away. Sometimes tragically, sometimes just due to the natural ebb and flow of life and old age. I've had, actually had a couple in their, as a teenager. Mm-hmm. Or early 20s. So, you see it run the whole gamut. And you see what happens when, people don't have things, properly structured. And then there's other things that aren't exactly even death, just something like divorce. Mm-hmm. Divorce can be devastating to somebody's, personal financial world. And actually, and this would be an unpopular opinion,
but when do you ever have an unpopular opinion?
No, just about every opinion I have is unpopular, and I don't care.
And that's I don't care either.
But I personally believe that the current legal system, and structure of it in regards to handling divorce, actually makes divorces a lot messier, a lot nastier, a lot more costly than what they need to be. And speaking from personal experience, I was able to handle my divorce due to the nature of what I do for a living, completely outside of the legal system for the most part. I spent $1,000 on a single page document, and then had one court hearing to find out I needed that document.
Yep.
And then one 30-minute court meeting to finalize the divorce.
Right.
And from start to finish, the whole thing lasted 4 months. And I truly believe it was being able to handle it the way we did that's enabled my ex-wife and I to have a very positive, constructive relationship. So positive that she actually works for me.
Right.
And I would say, let's see, the divorce was finalized December of 23.
Yeah.
So we've gone all of 24 and most of 25. And I think we've had 4 negative interactions in that entire period of time.
It's not always like that. From what you hear from a lot of people, there's a whole ton of negative.
Well, there is, and I personally believe it's because of the legal system that creates the need for people to fight one another endlessly through the divorce process, and by the time you get it finalized, there's so much, like, you already obviously had negative buildup, or you wouldn't be getting divorced,
right?
But then it's like accelerated and intensified, and then by the time you get out of it, if you have children of young age, you're even more bitter and more angry and more upset. And now it's like, how are you supposed to co-parent in that toxic residual environment, right?
Right.
So it's not just death, and it's not just failed business attempts. You know, I think it's all, there's so many different things here that you need to protect yourself against.
Right. But then from an asset side though, too, I mean, you know, companies do well on the other side. It's not just about making sure everything's protected, but you know, you do get to ride the wave really high sometimes.
Oh,
and you get a huge string of, you know, luck or fortune or blessing that comes your way, and you can really capitalize and have a bang up year and make a ton of cash for your business, right? And then it comes down to, like, well, what do we do with all this cash? Do I want to give it to Uncle Sam? Right? You know, who wants to do that? Raise your hand if you want to give your money to Uncle Sam.
Yeah. And anybody that's owned a business has had a bang up year one year, followed by a disastrous year the next. And guess who's not there to return any of your capital to you?
Right.
Uncle Sam, the guy that took it the year you did well.
Right.
Right. So it's imperative that you keep it out of the government's hands. I mean, imperative.
Right. And it's not unlawful. I mean, the government even wrote the script on how to do it.
No, it should never be done unlawfully.
Yeah, but they gave us a script through the tax code on how to protect assets, and you know, when you make hay, to make sure that you're investing it in the right way, to plan for retirement and all that. And I mean, you're a guy that does that. I mean, you advise all of these business owners when they're making hay, you know, how to make sure that they're properly structured and that they're investing and keeping the most of their dollars in the most ethical way possible.
Absolutely.
Right.
And it's not just ethical in regards to taxes. I was out in New York speaking to a group of people, and obviously I somewhat tweak my presentation for the audience.
Sure, of course.
But one of the things that I truly, truly believe in is, and what the point of small government was at a federal level. So I believe in something where the smaller the government, the more control it should have, the more control it's allowed to have. Right. Mm-hmm. So at a federal level, it should be the least intrusive, the least amount of power, the least amount of control, all the way down to an HOA is able to tell you what color your house can be.
Right.
Okay. And there's 2 purposes in my mind for this. I'm sure somebody smarter than me can identify more. The first is just quite simply, if I don't like the rules of an HOA, I can easily move to a different neighborhood. Whereas the bigger the government, the harder it is for me to move outside of their control.
Absolutely.
Okay, that's one. But the second and even more important reason is because the people closest to the source of the problem are the ones most equipped to provide a solution. And the further removed the people trying to create a solution are, the harder it is for them to get it right. And so I'm a huge believer that you, the individual in your own community, you're the one closest to maybe the domestic violence situations going on in your community, to the homelessness in your community, to the lack of food for children in your community, right? And it's your community. You should be invested in caring for it and bettering it 100%. And improving it, right?
Yep.
And so if I can help you keep your money that you've earned and provide you a solid foundation where you're protected, you are able to store up resources for lean years, you're you're going to get to a point. I've never seen anyone achieve a level of success in life and then not want to give back and help the people in their community.
Right.
I've never seen it.
Totally.
I don't know
agree.
where all these asshole millionaires are that half the country believe are the majority. I've never met a single one. And I literally spend all my time. 99% of my time is spent with millionaires and billionaires.
Yeah.
And I've never met one.
Right. They all want to give.
Every one of them is wanting to lift up and improve and make better and give back and teach and instruct and mentor and provide. Every one of them.
But see, here's what's interesting when you bring that up. When I put on my, business consulting and coaching hat and the fractional piece of going in and working with these owners, the thing that I recognize the most is that these are business owners who have meaning and purpose, right? And it's far above and beyond themselves in any way, shape, or form. And it's like the ones who don't really have a meaning and purpose, you can tell, you can sniff them out. They're just all about the money, right? They don't care about the community.
Yeah,
they don't care
and
about
they exist. I know they exist.
They're out. I've met some of them. They're out there, right?
Yeah.
But when you talk about the people who are super successful, they give back. They're investing not only in their community, but they invest in themselves as an owner, right? Because they understand that if they can get the community that they're in to support, that they can support, they know it's going to boomerang back to them.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean?
Absolutely. So let's get into your fractional CFO business that you love so much, because that's actually how I met you.
The X, not the F. I always say F that.
I do. I love that. I love that lot. F
because,
to F.
Because that's a whole nother pedigree of people. Like all they do is focus on the financial. I'm not knocking on them. You have to have a fractional CFO or a CFO in your organization to help you manage your dollars and your investments and making sure that you got good ROI. It's a complete necessity. That's a different hat that's out there. I could be a CFO's best friend or enemy, right? Depending on what to spend or not.
Well, and I would tell you, you absolutely better be their enemy.
Yeah.
Okay. And I don't want to knock anybody, but I remember early on in our mastermind that you founded, and what's the name of that? You call it?
It's called the Huddle. The Huddle Mastermind.
The Huddle Mastermind.
Yep.
One of the guys had this question about what an appropriate amount was to spend on marketing. And for some reason, he asked the former CFO, and I'm just sitting there going, that's the last guy you should ever ask. Like, not that his input's
not valuable.
There's
value
there, right? Of course, right?
Yeah.
Because like you need him to let you know, like if I start spending this amount on marketing, what's my burn rate and what kind of ROI do I need on it? What's my cost of acquisition of client and how's all this going to impact my bottom line and my ability to actually run this program?
Impact my EBITDA.
Yeah. But I've never met a bean counter in my life that actually had the right mentality for entrepreneurship. And I know there's a lot of them out there that probably succeeded, and I'm not knocking any of them. And it's just, there's just this huge difference in mentality between an entrepreneur and somebody that crunches numbers for a living, right? And you need them. They're very important, and we're horrible at it.
Right.
I drive my guy nuts, and I love him to death. He's probably one of my 3 most trusted people.
Yeah.
Okay. But when times get tough, do you know what I do?
What's that?
I spend money.
Spend it. Yeah.
When I don't have it is when I spend it.
Yeah.
When things are contracting and I'm running into stiff headwinds and things are getting difficult, that's when I put the gas pedal down and drive forward.
You have to.
Well, that's how, but they don't think that.
They don't.
They don't do that.
Right. Because they're looking at it a cash flow analysis, right?
Yeah.
Instead of looking at it and saying, well, as visionaries, as you and I are, we look at it and we say, it's about market share.
Absolutely.
Right. And even though the spend,
client acquisition.
Yeah. And even though the spend of the market share decreases, there's still market share. There's still people spending money.
Yes.
Right.
And I need it.
Let's go take it now.
Yeah, get it.
Right? Because if you can increase your market share by even 0.1% in that slow time, when it gets busy, you maintain that market share. Now you're swallowing up more than 0.1% of a percent.
Absolutely.
Right? And so it compounds over those heyday years of when it's time to make money.
Yes. Yeah. So I joke, or I used to, I don't do it as much anymore because we're further from it, but I always joked I was COVID rich. And I was on my revenue, December of 2019, tripled.
That's a big number.
And then that number doubled in February. And then that number doubled by August. And I was on this Zoom meeting with a bunch of financial advisors all over the country. And the guy running it, he started off, he said, hey, I want Elliot to take a few minutes and talk about what he's been doing during COVID. And I'm like, COVID? What's COVID?
What's COVID? Yeah.
And everybody kind of laughed. And he's like, no, I knew that would be his answer. And that's why I asked it to him. Because while all the rest of you have stopped doing all these things that you need to be doing to grow and build your business, Elliot drove forward, pushed harder into it, right? I saw incredible opportunity where people were like, it was almost like people had been desperate for a break. And they were looking for any excuse they could to just stop. And it blew my mind.
Yeah.
You know?
Yep.
And it was like, as they all receded from the marketplace, I was like,
I'm going. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Now, I'll
take your market share.
Nature abhors a vacuum.
Yeah.
You're literally voluntarily giving up market share. And I'm more than willing to take it.
Yep.
And so it's just, so I just, you know, I think it's funny when you need the bean counter, you need the CFO, but you're not a bean counter. You're an entrepreneur.
Yep.
Right. And so I see why you call it CXO.
The X is a fill in the blank.
The X is a fill in the blank for everything other than
the F.
The F. F that.
Yeah. So, you know, you think sales, marketing, revenue, operations as it ties into those three things. Those are kind of the things that I really dive into. But I want to pause on something you said about when things kind of get slow. So right now, during the current state of the economy, a lot of people are, you know, really worried about stuff. In fact, they're starting to see that consumers are pulling back, at least in restaurants, right? You know, restaurants are down. We're feeling it at our Smoothie King. We're down just a little bit. Other Smoothie Kings, you know, we're actually down a tad bit. But when we compare those numbers against everybody else that's in the industry, everybody in the industry is far better or far worse.
Yeah.
And I mean, these are big publicly traded brands that are out there when they're doing their financials. And so I look at that like you, and it's like I wouldn't have had the idea that I did unless I was out there talking with other business owners and being real, right? And saying, here's what's going on. What are you doing? And not everybody has an idea that could be applicable to your business, right? But they may say something that gives you just this golden nugget. And so I was in discussions with another Smoothie King franchisee, and he was talking about this influencer program that he was doing. And he was paying these influencers in these smaller communities every week to basically just come in and do these posts on Instagram, you know, so it was Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, whatever it was. And they were adults, and like one person was like the lead pickleball person or whatever in some small community. And I was thinking, I was like, man, that's not going to work in Kansas City because we have a really big metropolitan area. Well, just influencers, right?
Yeah,
you know, influencers want all this stuff, and are they really that great? And do you get the return? But we invest so heavily in the community that we're in terms of 4 different high schools and a middle school. We really believe in those communities and their sports programs and all the students that go. They come in, they support us, so we should support them back. So I said, how could I take this idea of influencers and apply it to the community? And so what we did is we went out and we reached out to and found some of the top influencers that are at these local high school kids, you know, sophomores, juniors, and seniors. Had them come in, met with them, shared them. I said, hey, if you would consider putting a post on your Instagram and Snapchat every single week that you came into Smoothie King and talked about your smoothie. And that's all I ask for you. And in return, I give you a free smoothie every week. And I'll give you a VIP card. And you can use that VIP card that has a percentage off for any time you come into the store for your family members or friends. Would you do that?
That's awesome.
And they're like,
heck yeah.
Heck yeah,
Heck yeah,
right?
Yeah.
And so I was like, and I'm going to make it official, right? And so we put it into a contract and agreement because they're minors. They had to go talk to their parents about it,
That's awesome.
Obviously, right? But then I was like, you can go around now and you can start building a story.
Yeah.
That you became an influencer for a popular brand, right? And it's all official. And think about what that could do for college, your career, and what you want to do moving forward, right? And so we just implemented this. And within the first week, Elliot, I kid you not.
Okay.
First week, the buzz is already going around the entire high school because I've got 11 influencers that have between 1,100 and 3,000 followers on Instagram and Snapchat.
Wow.
Think of how many impressions that is a week.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. For 11 smoothies a week.
Yeah. Right?
Yeah.
But it's about community. But had I not gone out and had a conversation with a peer and been vulnerable about, hey, what are you doing? What's going on? You know, sales are down, whatever it is. Like, let's think outside the box. And he didn't have something that was completely applicable, but there was a very key element I could apply.
Yeah. So two things there in my mind, right? One, and this, you were doing something I absolutely believe in and I push everybody to do. Like, I love just talking about everything I'm doing to anybody that'll listen. I'm sure it's pretty annoying for some people. Because I just find that what you're talking about is what happens. Mm-hmm. Like, if I don't tell people about what I'm trying to accomplish, I can't get any input from them. And,
zero.
Yeah, zero. But if I do, I can. And then that input that comes in, it's not going to be perfectly aligned because they're not you. Even if they're in your same line of work. Your Smoothie King and someone else's Smoothie Kings are not the same business.
Right.
Because you're going to do yours your way and they're going to do yours their way. But you took somebody's input, and then what's your background?
I'm marketing and sales.
No. What's your background even deep? You have another part of your background that I think played into this.
Oh, what's your opinion on that? I'd love to hear it.
You coach.
Yeah.
And who do you coach?
Everybody.
Well, everybody. But you have kids in like junior high and high school or something, right?
Yes, we do. We got a lot of high school kids. Yeah.
Right.
I used to be a Division II basketball coach. So
there you go. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Is that out of 3 divisions or no? I'm kidding. I don't know anything about college.
That's all good. And the NCAA.
But Division II sounds it's almost one, right?
Yeah, it's one
D1
below one.
is D1 is like the one
the top dogs, right?
So
Division
you were up there. But my point is, like, everything that I know about you, you've been very involved in like the school sports teams and athletics, and the way you recruit and hire for your store and the way you work with them. So to me, like, you took this input, it comes into you, your mind's going to take it and apply it in the way that you run your business, and boom, now you got something awesome going on.
Right. Yep, exactly. But the thing is like, Elliot, we as owners can never get there if we're not going to be vulnerable,
of course,
to other business owners. And I think sometimes, like, we put up this front that everything is okay when it's not.
Yeah.
Because we can't have our staff seeing that we're worried about how do you make payroll this week?
Yeah.
How am I going to pay the lease rent because sales are down or whatever it is, right?
Yeah.
We can't put that front on because then that scares the crap out of them, you know, or they may leave or have doubt or whatever. And then we don't want to go to our business peers and say, hey, I'm really struggling right now.
Well, right? because so the week after my wife told me she was leaving me, I inadvertently scheduled this thing called the Landmark Forum in Seattle.
So you've talked a lot about this.
I love the Landmark Forum, and I recommend it. No one I've ever talked about it to has ever gone and done it. I've even offered to pay, not just for the forum, but to pay for their airfare, their hotel, and lost wages. And I can't get people to take me up on it.
It was it completely transformed your way of thinking in who you are.
It transformed my way of thinking. It transformed my way of communicating, right? Which is literally the Excalibur of life. Like communication, true communication. There is nothing more important in my mind, right? But one of the things that they talk about is that in communicating, they call it their sea of opinions. And you have all these different things that you're thinking as someone else talks about whether or not they're right, they're wrong, should you, could you, what's in it for them, what's in it for you, what's in it for someone else, all these different things, right? And which prevent us from actually truly being present and understanding, right? And it all boils down to two things: you not wanting to be wrong and you wanting to be right.
Yeah.
Right? And this is the way in which all humanity, and they have studied this, and it doesn't matter your culture, the part of the world you're raised in, the language you speak.
Yeah, none of that matters.
None of it matters.
None of it.
Every human on the planet is functioning from not wanting to be wrong and wanting to be right. And so to make yourself vulnerable to especially as a business owner, right? People assign all these false ideas to if you own a business, you must be rich, right?
Yeah.
And then we might not want to burst that bubble, or with our peer group, they're doing well.
Yep.
We don't want to look like we're not doing well.
Yeah. Well, because what's wrong with me, right?
Yeah. Why are they killing it?
And I'm not. Yep.
Right. Yeah. And so I don't know. I think you have to, train yourself, right? And you got to just start forcing yourself to do it. And so I started at home with my kids. I wanted my kids to know when dad's up and when dad's down. I'm an entrepreneur. I joke. Actually, this is not my joke. A guy in my business, Mike Terrio, I loved his line. He said that, in this business, one day we're buying private islands, the next we're shoving our head in an oven.
It feels that way, though. There's a lot of truth in that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, it is, right?
Yeah.
But I wanted my kids to have a clear understanding of when I was shoving my head in the oven and when we were, right? And so it's funny, like they're very always aware of what's going on financially in my life, right? And then I even share probably more than what I should with my employees, but we're small.
Yeah.
Now they know that like certain things will never be impacted, like their pay,
right,
their bonuses, any of that kind of stuff.
But
right?
You don't mess with their money.
No.
Never.
Even it doesn't matter what I'm going through. They know that's always covered.
Yep.
Right. And I'm lucky. I'm in a business that has a residual income stream that's dang near bulletproof.
Right.
And they know that just covers the basics. And they're always going to be provided for and taken care of. But I still am very transparent with them about because it's the same thing with my kids. I need my kids to understand when, hey, maybe buy some less shit off Amazon or, whatever, right? And then I need my employees to know, hey, you might want to knuckle down and like get after some of this stuff, right? Because we're hurting right now, right? Now maybe and I'm not a very good business owner, so maybe somebody better could have a more consistent, continual, always motivating their employees. And I don't try to use it to motivate them. I'm just saying, like, I just want people to be aware. Hey,
you're just being honest.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. That's just what I try to do. And even in the mastermind, I've been completely open about, this year's probably the most difficult year of my entire career. Just due to a bunch of bullshit.
Yeah.
And I've even shared that with people in the mastermind. It's like, whatever.
But what's cool about that though is, even with the unique, awesome members that we have, nobody's going to you and being judgmental of what you're saying, right? I mean, if anything else, they're embracing and they're like, hey, tell me more. What can we do to help? And I think we get so much trash built up into our heads in terms of what we think might happen that it prevents us, and it creates this fear that prevents us from taking action, of being in a vulnerable state to be able to go talk to a business owner. You know, I heard this old quote. I don't know who said it or what philosopher or whatever it is. And it was
probably a post from Abraham Lincoln on Facebook.
Maybe, but it's not. I'm not who I think I am. I'm not who you think I am. I am who you think I am.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
I am who you think I am. Right. Yeah. And I think we get so bogged down into that head trash that it prevents us from taking that next step of really becoming the best version of ourselves. Right.
Yeah.
And so, you know, you are somebody who has invested a lot into yourself as an owner, right? Oh, knowing that I don't got it all figured out, and I want to be around people that can help me figure it out, right? And yes. I think that's a trap that a lot of business owners have, is that they feel like, and I was there when I was a younger owner, like, I'm an owner, I should know this, I'm an expert, I don't need help, right? Like, I got this, I can do that, I shouldn't need people's help. I started doing this. And really what it did was it was very detrimental.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
In a lot of ways.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you, I've been very fortunate. And one of the ways in which I've been very fortunate is to get to be part of groups, masterminds and clubs and whatnot with people who are very high achievers and very successful. And there was a small group of us, about 8 of us, down. I'm going to just brag for a second. we're down with the Bacardi rum family on their private island of the Bahamas, and we're spending a week fly fishing. And one night we're sitting around this fire and we're talking. And every single person sitting there had a recent story where everything had been on the brink. One guy started a clothing company, and in 4 years, almost hit $4 billion a year.
It's insane.
You think you've made it, right?
Yeah.
Another guy was at the age of 24, and I'm pretty sure he was in his 70s at this point, acquired a commercial door manufacturing company, the largest in the world. And in 2015, so 10 years ago, so in his 60s, almost lost it all. And had to go home to his wife and tell her that he didn't want to lay anyone off, and so he was going to leverage everything they had. Right? Mm-hmm. Another guy had been in an investment, thought it was good, shared it with like 6 or 7 of his friends. They all joined in on it. It went south, and they sued him. Dang. People that he thought was his friends.
Turn around and just sued him.
Sued him, right? You know, and it's just it was just amazing to the take, like, and so it's just funny to me that at our level, we're thinking something's wrong with us. Mm-hmm. We're ashamed. We're not wanting to communicate. We're trying to put on airs. Like, I'm hanging out with people that all fly private jets everywhere, and they're all open.
Yeah.
About these horrific trials, you know, that they went through. And it was just like, it was such an eye opener for me, right? Mm-hmm. It was like, it actually made me think of marriage. It's like marriage and owning a business. There is absolutely no point in which you're safe, where you can relax, where you can just start phoning it in.
Yeah. You got to keep working at it every day.
Absolutely. And I actually think the more successful you get, and this is one of the things I feel like I ran into this here, the more successful you get, the more you attract the negative elements in the world, the people with a lack of integrity, to try and come after you and take what you got. Mm-hmm. And they do it a lot of different ways.
Yeah.
But yeah, so my point to all this is, like, I've found it to be extremely valuable to, and I'm not gonna, I don't mean to pat myself on the back, but as a guy that gets to go hang out with that level of people,
Mm-hmm.
I never thought I didn't need to also hang out with guys at my level, who own
Right.
businesses here in town that aren't doing billions a year.
Right.
Like, I find it's just as valuable for me to be part of the Huddle Mastermind as it is for me to be, hanging out with all these
Billionaires.
world famous
Yeah.
people.
Right.
Like, because at the core, like, literally, I could take these two groups and interchange them, and you wouldn't be able to tell the difference, because they're just guys,
Yeah.
and they're all good guys who are all just trying to do the same thing. It's just some happen to do it with more zeros on the end of the bank account.
Right. Different economies of scale. Right.
Yeah, I mean, exactly.
Yeah.
That's all
Yeah.
it is.
Yeah.
Right. So, no, I think that as a business owner, somebody told me that, being a business owner is lonely, but doesn't mean you have to be alone.
But it feels like you're on an island all the time.
Or you're alone, but you don't have to be lonely.
But it feels like you're on an island all the time. Right.
And how do you fix that? You fix it by doing what we're talking about.
Right.
Joining groups of like-minded individuals.
Being transparent, vulnerable.
Absolutely.
Right. And I think there's an A word that we're missing. Accountability.
I can't, yeah. And you had brought it up earlier, and I wanted to hit on it and just forgot. But think of how hard it is. Think of how hard it is to be accountable when you own a business, right?
Mm-hmm.
Who in your life is going to hold you accountable?
Yeah. Who?
Right?
I mean, you try to hold yourself accountable. Does it really work?
I mean, humans are incredible creatures at not holding themselves accountable.
I mean, more times than not.
I mean, we take mental gymnastics to an Olympic gold medal level.
Like, it's kind of like, I like this, like accountability. Like, I want to lose weight.
Yeah.
But when my daughter brings home chocolate chip cookies,
Yeah, shoving those in your mouth.
all bets are off.
Getting some whole milk.
I mean, milk and warm chocolate chip cookies. I'm set. You know what I mean? Like, what? How do you say no?
Well, you just got to do a little extra meth the next day.
Or whatever, you know what I mean? But like accountability actually is for some people it's pretty easy, and it's really the what's in it for me, right? What's in it for me to hold myself accountable? And sometimes we have these things that we know that we need to do, and we're not going to do it because it's either A, not important, or B, just candidly, we lack the skill set or the knowledge of how to do it, right? And we get comfortable in a process or way that we're doing certain things. And in that comfortability that we have, all of a sudden now to upset the apple cart, right?
Yeah.
Like it's hard. So accountability is a really hard and scary thing at times. And so I look at it and I say, odds are we're probably not the best person to hold ourselves accountable.
Oh, I guarantee you we're not. Guarantee it. Right?
So what are some ways that you hold yourself accountable? Like what do you think through? What do you do? What's helpful for you?
Well, there's a lot of pithy little sayings, right? You can't expect what you don't inspect.
Mm-hmm.
If you're not measuring it, right, you can't do that, right? But I'm going to get into so there's two areas in which one is doing things like I have a business coach. I belong to your mastermind, and you have accountability calls with me. So I meet once a month with my business coach. I meet weekly with you, and I meet weekly with another business mentor of mine who is the managing partner of probably the most elite accounting firm in North America, based out of Fremont, California. So I have 3 people in my life that I check in with, 2 on a weekly basis and 1 on a monthly basis.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that might be more than anybody else you have ever met, right?
Yeah.
What's interesting is everybody holds me accountable in different ways.
Mm-hmm. So what do you mean by that? What does that look like?
Well, I'll start with the most interesting one, I think, and that's Alan and this accounting firm in Fremont. He holds me accountable in a spiritual way, and it makes me emotional. But just as a man, right?
Yeah.
From more of a religious aspect, right? More of like a personal integrity. What's my foundational principles? Am I applying that in every aspect of my life?
It's the who you are to your core,
Yes,
coach.
yes, and that's what we talk about, right? Then with you, it's we set goals, what we want to accomplish in the next 30 days, 60 days, 90 days, right? And then and they're very specific to things I'm trying to accomplish within my business, right? And then this other business coach that I have is more like a higher level of business, and it's similar. There's some overlap between those two, but it's less into the specifics.
Right.
Right. And so I find those to be very valuable. Two I pay for, one I don't. You and the business coach, I pay to belong to the mastermind, and and then my business coach, I pay for those coaching sessions as well. But then there's another way in which I feel like I create accountability. And I think it's a way in which a lot of people don't, and they should. Okay. I purposefully foster an environment with my employees and my children where they're just as capable of holding me accountable as I am them.
Yeah. So it's a two-way street of accountability.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Right. I expect nothing out of you that I don't allow you to expect out of me.
Right.
Right. And so, and I do that by like asking questions to them that clearly like delve into their opinion being something that would hold me accountable. Right.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not just telling them, hey, give me a review, tell me what you think. I'm specifically asking them and getting them to give me their opinion about things that nobody's going to voluntarily do at first, right? And you got to be careful, because there's been times where I've had to then push back a little bit too.
Sure.
Where by opening the door to allow them to hold me accountable, it can it can start to get unbalanced. They can start to kind of take it a little too far, right?
It could also swing and hit you, and you know what?
Absolutely. And so sometimes I have to be like, wait up.
Yeah.
Hold up.
Yeah.
Wait a minute.
Yeah.
I still run this place.
Yeah. Right.
Right? I don't have to agree with you. Right? I don't have to do what you want. Right? That's not you holding me accountable. Right? A lot of times people think that when they share their opinions or their thoughts or whatever, if we don't take that and implement it or act on it, that they weren't heard.
Right.
Right. No, I can hear you. You're just ignorant to a lot of things. And I don't mean that in a negative way, but I'm the only one that has the full perspective, full picture.
Right.
I'm allowing you to have a voice. I'm allowing you to hold me accountable, making sure I follow through and do the things. In fact, my personal assistant, I have business cards that say Elliot's boss.
Oh, that's boss. That's awesome.
Right. And I give her a lot of leeway to manage my life.
Yeah.
Like that.
Yeah. So I want to hit on something. It's more of me going on a soapbox. Like I love business coaches as a whole. Because it's a big part of what I do, and I can get in and actually get my hands dirty too. But you had mentioned something about the specifics, right?
Yes.
And why you have me plus another business coach.
Yeah.
And the reason that I felt like creating this business was so important is because with my background of being an NCAA 2 basketball coach, even though we brought in some pretty high caliber basketball athletes at high school, they knew a lot of stuff, right? Otherwise they wouldn't be at that next level. They were always still missing some of the foundational pieces and components to make them an elite player, right? And so I'll give you a story. And this is why specifics in business and accountability is so important. Is there was a young kid, his name Brian Stammer, and he was in Highlands Ranch, Colorado, and he had sent in a tape, and I was watching the tape, and I was like, man, we need to bring this kid in and just kind of see him play. And the head coach, he was like, "Are you sure?" Not really. And I was like, "Yeah, we got to bring him in." And he was only getting recruited by NAIA schools, right? So NAIA is kind of a level down. You have D1, D2, D3. NAIA is kind of on the same level as D3. There are some higher elite caliber NAIA schools that could compete at some of the Division II level, just to kind of put it in perspective,
Right.
okay, from a talent standpoint. And so we brought him in, and he goes through kind of a workout with the guys and all that. And the head coach was like, all right, now I see what you mean. we need to have him as part of our program, right? Yeah. And so we brought him in. We actually redshirted him his freshman year because when looking at him, we knew that he needed a full year of development. He had a lot of the tools, but we had some seniors that he would be competing for, and it was just like, you know what, maybe we should take a year and really develop this kid and really get him focused on the fundamentals, right? And all the meticulous workouts and the body movements of how to attack the rim, the ball handling, the shooting, and fixing his shot, even just a little bit, right? And I didn't get to see him play his junior or senior year because I had moved to start the business out in Kansas City. But by his junior year, he was already an All-American.
Wow.
And by his senior year, he was also an All-American. He was averaging well over 20 points and like 18 rebounds a game.
Wow.
And he was a standout Division II athlete. Now he's a CFO, actually.
Oh, really?
In Colorado. But we had to spend so much time on the meticulous details early on because we knew the ceiling that he had, right? He didn't know his ceiling. He had no clue how good he could be.
Yeah.
We knew based on being able to see his behaviors and his work ethic and his body structure and athleticism and all those things, right? And so from a business owner standpoint, sometimes we don't know what our ceiling is. We have no idea. And we get that head trash that can actually hold us back at times.
Yeah.
And we get so focused as visionary people sometimes on the high level things and all the squirrels that are running around that we want to go chase those squirrels. And sometimes you need somebody to come in and level set you and say, hey, that's great. You can do all these things, but we've got to master some of the fundamentals first.
Yes. Yes.
And when we can master the fundamentals and we can have actionable items every week that you can check off, all those things are going to build up into that big vision that you have, right? And I feel like some of these other coaches out there, they may not have owned a business, right? They may have worked for, and I'm not knocking on them. They probably got great experience, right? But that's why I like the coaching and consulting pieces because I'm able to tap into that college NCAA kid mind that I used to have, right? From a coaching and development side. But then I ultimately have to hold myself accountable because I also own several businesses.
Yes.
Right. And how can I, if I'm not successful in owning those businesses, how am I going to hold any credibility and weight?
Well, and that was one of my hangups. For the longest time, I wouldn't make use of business coaches or mentors or any of that because it's like I knew what I am setting out to achieve and I couldn't identify a single one that had been there and done it. And if you ain't been there and done it, then like, why am I talking to you? Right. And if you have been there and done it, why are you talking to me?
I mean, but seriously, though,
like,
you know what I mean?
Our circles aren't even going to, collide for the longest time in my life. Right. And I think what happened is I adjusted my view of what the purpose of business mentors and business coaches and things like that was, right? Like, I don't think, it helps that you're in the thick of it, doing what the people in your mastermind are trying to do as well, right? But you don't have to have been in the thick of it to hold me accountable.
Correct.
Right.
Yeah.
Now, if I don't respect you as a person, it's going to be hard. But then why am I hiring you to hold me accountable?
Exactly.
You know?
Yeah.
So.
But I think that's what's hard for a lot of owners. I mean, even when you think about hiring a staff member, right? And you got a position open. And a lot of times you're like, but I want to hire somebody who's got experience in this field.
Yeah.
Right? Because if I bring them in and they have experience in this field, then they should do a lot better.
Yeah.
Just because of the experience.
You'd think so.
You'd think so. But man, I tell you what, I've been burned on that more times than not. You know what I mean? Because they're coming in with all this head trash. They're coming in with all these bad habits and behaviors and expectations, right?
Yep.
That don't mold. And now there's this constant comparison of, well, this,
we did it this way.
We did it this way. This company, You know, they have all those things. But when you get somebody green who has maybe the personality you're looking for, they've got that high ceiling and potential that you can see in them. They're coachable. They're a quick learner. They are one that wants to be held accountable. They take action on that. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Don't pass up on that person.
Yeah.
They're worth the roll of the dice.
Yeah.
You know.
I don't have a single person that works for me that had any experience doing what they do for me. Not one.
Not one.
And you'd be amazed, and I'm pretty positive, like, and what they do today is probably a tripling of their pay.
Mm-hmm.
And none of them came with experience.
Not one.
Not one.
In terms of the business experience. They had experience elsewhere, but they didn't have
Well, they were alive.
Yeah. They could breathe.
Yeah, they had experience living.
Right.
You know, even my personal assistant, she was an executive assistant for an attorney, right? But literally outside of booking my flights and hotels, which is the least of what she does, I mean, a fraction of 1% of what she does for me, nothing she does for me is what she was doing at the law firm.
Right. You had to teach her all that stuff.
No, I refuse to teach anybody anything.
Explain. That's fascinating.
When I hired her, I said, if I got to tell you what to do, you're fired. I expect you to look around, see what needs to be done, and figure it out.
And she's awesome.
No, but but this is the same. I mean, it's like the thing that I can, and it is why I'm a horrible, horrible boss. And I'm sure this doesn't work.
It's a cringe factor for me, if I'm being honest.
I'm sure. No,
I'm like, oh my gosh, you did what?
No, I mean, literally, like, okay, so this is the problem, right? When I got into this line of work, and every line of work I've ever been in, nobody really had to tell me what to do. I mean, like, you give me the high, like even I'm ex-military. And one of the things my chain of command loved is they could literally give me a one sentence of instructions. And that was it. Mm-hmm. And they knew that the end result would be perfect every time with no other instruction.
Right.
Right. When I got into this line of work, same thing. I had the basic overview, but just as an example, the guy that hired me one time came to me with he was with a life insurance policy. It was 64 pages of nonsense. And he goes, hey, I can't figure this thing out. Can you look at it and tell me if it would be good for the client to buy or not? Well, by the time I was done, I would consider myself one of the foremost experts on life insurance.
You just jumped right in.
Yeah, and I've even gone and like I've debated like the head of product development for Printcore, the parent company of Principal Financial. Mm-hmm. Like, you know, like I understand this stuff, right?
Right.
But that's what you do I look for people. I know where my weaknesses are as a business owner, which is I don't manage. Mm-hmm. I don't want to manage. I don't know how to manage. I hate managing. So I look for people that are intelligent enough and self-motivated enough to be able to dig in, figure something out, and get it done, and come to me with the minimalist amount of questions. Mm-hmm. Right? So,
but see, that's unique, you know, for you as an owner, because you have clearly identified what you're looking for with your business in terms of your staff.
Oh yeah.
And what I would say is that most business owners aren't that specific because of all these excuses around. Well, the labor is really tight. You can't find good workers. People don't want to apply. They're asking for too much money. And to me, what I hear is excuse.
Yeah.
Right. And like what you say makes a lot of sense. And I don't think a lot of people are willing to take that risk of really looking at what it takes from an employee standpoint. And so at our store, we hire a bunch of kids, 16, 17, 18. We're trying to train them. And we invested in our store manager to go to Colorado and visit one of the stores out there that is really, really high performing in all sorts of ways. And the biggest takeaway that he had, and it was a total oversight by my part, Elliot, total oversight, even though I do this.
Yeah.
Still oversight, right?
Yeah.
And had to invest time to have our manager go there. And you actually know the franchisee over there is Josh Martin.
Yeah.
And
former NFL
player. Yep. And so
him and I have hung out in Jackson all together.
He's a cool dude, man. He's so cool. He basically said, we don't keep good people. We keep great people. And so if you're good, you can't work there. You have to be great. Right. Yeah. And they have a whole criteria for that. So our store manager came back and he's all excited and he's like, I want to make these changes and do this and all that. And I'm like, sweet. Okay. So I'm hearing the whole good versus great. Like, I love it. Right. So let's stack rank all of our staff members.
Okay.
Let's stack rank them. And let's put some criteria of what defines great for us. So we put all that together. We stacked ranked our staff based on those criteria. And I said, okay, let's draw a line. Right? Let's draw a line. And we did. We drew a line.
Then did you walk in like Ari Gold in Entourage with the paintball gun? You're fired.
You mean the Nerf gun?
No, he had paintball.
I know he did paintball. Right? No, we can't do that. But we did.
A few lawsuits.
Yeah, we drew a line. Okay. Right? And we said, in order for us to really get to where we need, and it was a real gut check for my wife and I, because we were like, you know what? We've been handicapping our business with our staff by making excuses and saying that they're kids and, all those things that we know because of our teenage kids, right? Yeah. And our store manager came back, and even Josh had said, and other people, like, you need to stop viewing them as kids and as adults. And with them as adults, you have a job description. You know what this is. You need to raise the level of expectation.
People rise to that.
They rise to it. And you need to find the people who are going to rise to it, right? And those who are not willing to, it's really hard when you got to cut bait.
Yeah.
Because you invest in these staff members. You have an emotional connection with them. There's HR and legal compliance that you have to take into consideration. I mean, it gets really muddy.
Oh, it is.
And it's horrible.
Yes.
It's horrible to terminate people. Yeah. It is horrible. But it's things that you have to do if you're going to maintain a healthy business. It's easier to, culture.
It's easier to bonus your employee a trip to like a really violent part of the world and hope they don't come home.
Right. Not that anybody would do that, but it's really hard. But if you are going to be a business of excellence, and you're going to strive to be the best in every way, shape, or form, you have to have a team that you are surrounded by that meets that same vision. Period. End of story. Absolutely. Right. And you're crippling. I would argue you're crippling your business by not making some of those tough calls. Yeah. I mean, you've had to do that.
Oh.
You had to make some really hard calls. Mine's just peanuts compared to what you've had to go through. But this is part of ownership. You got to have the kahunas to make these tough calls.
Yeah, I mean, I think I did 32 people in one day.
32.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, I'm assuming you didn't sleep at night. Or maybe you did.
I did afterwards.
You did afterward. It's hard in the moment, though.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, I would argue, like,
well, here's what's funny about it, right? So I'd actually just come back from Jackson Hole, and Josh was there. And I decided I was going to do this that Monday. And I had already, the day before, let a very key person go over the phone.
Those are even harder, but they're a necessity at times.
I had to do it.
You have to do it.
And then I was expecting to go in on Monday and do the great culling. And I allowed one of the few people that still works for me today, my CFO, to talk me out of it. Right. Again, because and this goes back. It's the same personality type. Right. So here's what's really interesting. Right. So I work with a lot of accountants. All right. In my line of work. And one of the things I've learned, and it's going to sound so obvious, I'm going to sound dumb saying it. There's two fundamental views of risk. And one is that action equates to risk. And the other is that inaction equates to risk. Mm-hmm. If you're an entrepreneur, the odds are inaction equates to risk. Mm-hmm. If you're a CFO or an accountant, I guarantee you action equates to risk. And so I allowed this person to talk me out of what I knew I needed to do. Mm-hmm. And by the way, we don't ever do it at the right time.
There's never a right time.
No. It was 6 months earlier.
In hindsight, yeah.
No, but and you wouldn't even need hindsight. Come on. I guarantee you there's 100 times you know what you needed to do.
And you procrastinate.
We procrastinate. We find every reason not to. We try all these different things because
fear.
Yes.
Fear of the unknown.
Well, fear of the unknown, fear of harming somebody, right? Like making somebody mad, having somebody not like us. Because that's the other problem with being an entrepreneur is I guarantee you probably fall in the category of wanting everybody to like you.
Always.
It's in our personality type, right?
Yeah.
You know? And so you just don't do what you know you need to do when you need to do it. And a lot of times, so one of the reasons I love being an entrepreneur is that reality doesn't give a shit what you think, want, or believe. Mm-hmm. Right? And you can bucket all you want until it crushes you.
Yeah.
And
it's coming.
At some point or another, reality will force you to do the necessary things. Mm-hmm. And you might have delayed so long you don't survive it. So I knew I needed to have done this 6 months or a year earlier.
Right.
And I didn't do it. Then even when I knew I needed to, and I'd already let this key person go, I allowed someone else to talk me out of doing it. Mm-hmm. And then that afternoon was miserable. Mm-hmm. And I walked out of work just madder and frustrated and upset than I'd ever been. And nothing was going to stop me the following day. You know, I don't know why I'm telling you all that.
No, but you took action. I mean, that's actually part of when I was working with you. We were going through a lot of that stuff together. Yeah. Right. And it wasn't easy.
No.
And, from that moment, because we were working together, I try to be the guy in your room and just say, yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's the right thing.
Yeah.
You'll be glad that you did.
Yes.
And you're smart enough that you'll be able to adjust and keep moving forward. I wanted to be an advocate for you, even though it's hard because I knew that everybody else is going to be saying it's negative and it's down and trying to talk you out of it and all that. And we both knew it was the right thing to do.
Absolutely.
Right. And sometimes, having a coach, having accountability and a peer group, those people can be your biggest cheerleader because they are looking outside the situation. They're not into it. They're not emotionally invested.
It's not impacting them the way it is everybody else.
So they have clear thinking, especially if you go and you have peer accountability and you can go talk to not one, but two or three, or maybe even four people. Now you can start to see all those common threads, right? Yeah. And the continuity that's there to at least give you the assurance and confidence that, okay, I made the right decision, or this is the decision that I'm going to have to make.
Yeah.
Right. And then people are going to ask you and say, well, how's it going? Is it working out as well as you wanted to? Right. Is there anything else happening or going on or challenges? Right. Instead of you just feeling like you're on that island.
Yeah.
That's why it's so important to surround yourself with other business owners, even if they're not in the same industry.
Oh, and I love the fact that like I don't want people in the same industry, right? You know, I think that's been one of the biggest benefits to me is I don't associate with a lot of people in my industry. Don't have a problem with any of them.
Right.
It's just like I just think that getting perspective from outside the box you're in as many ways as possible, is really beneficial.
Yeah.
So.
Yep. How do you, like, from your perspective, how do you feel like business owners are in essence cheating themselves?
How are they cheating themselves?
Yeah.
Any specific area that you?
It could be like financial. Like, let's look at it from a financial side. Like, how are they cheating themselves from a financial perspective?
Oh my goodness.
Like, what would be the top 3 things that you feel like they're cheating themselves? And I guess let me be a little bit more specific, that they're holding on to cash or investments, thinking that by holding on to it's going to be a better ROI than if they were to allocate those somewhere else.
Well, okay, so let's get into that. Let's cover that. I also want to cover business owners who have their priorities wrong.
Totally agree. I'd love to dive into that.
Okay. And tied to that, your money mindset. Okay. And actually money mindset kind of crosses into these.
Okay.
Right. So let's start with money mindset. Right. And I'm not going to put you on the spot. I normally love to.
You can put me on the spot.
Well, what is money?
Money is a tool.
Okay. That's true.
It's a tool. It's a mechanism that you can leverage to work for you.
Yep, that's absolutely right. Now, what else is it? It's core. That's absolute core. What is money?
It's a social contract.
It's a social contract that does what?
It's a social contract of a binding agreement of an exchange of services.
And what is it doing in that exchange of services? By the way, you've gotten further than anyone I've ever asked this question to. You're a mother effing genius.
It's to yield some level of ROI or benefit that the other party.
And so, what is it measuring? It's measuring. That's all it's doing is measuring.
It's measuring.
We're exchanging goods and services.
Right.
Right. And if you give me 1 pound of ribeye, right, of a certain quality, same here. I got
the
6
marbled.
Of them. Yeah. So quick segue. So I make the best steak anyone's ever eaten.
Oh, we're gonna put you up to it because I love a good sous vide steak.
Yeah. So what I do with mine is I take carnation, condensed milk. I take a special type of salt, and then I take espresso grounds, ancho chilies, and a little bit of brown sugar.
Okay.
And I mix all that up, and then I just cake these steaks in it.
Okay.
And at least 24 hours before they go on the grill.
All right.
Okay. And so the salt, extracts the moisture out of the steak.
Yep.
It mixes with the condensed milk.
Yeah.
And condensed milk has a change on a scientific level, the enzymes of the meat.
Right.
So it just gets so tender. And it pulls the espresso and the brown sugar and the ancho chili, and it pulls it all back into the meat. And then I cook them on a Blackstone griddle.
Oh, that sounds amazing.
And then all I do, I eat this 5 times a week: steak and sweet potatoes. That is like literally my diet.
Yeah.
So, anyways, before we got off on that topic, so. Literally, all money is a means of, at its core, and then there's other things that stacked on top of this, right? But at its core, the very first thing it is a measurement of goods or services. That's it. How in the world can that be evil, wrong, bad?
Right.
Never. What? Show me anything else where you're going to say you're going to measure something the love of measuring that is the root of all evil. I'm not going against the scriptures. I know it sounds like I am.
What you're saying is it's a measurement tool. Money is
we'll get to where it does become the root of all evil.
For
but
sure.
At its core, at its base level, all you're doing is measuring something.
Right.
Now, what are you really measuring?
Value.
Right? Well, you're measuring value. That value to me is in two ways. You're measuring the breadth and the depth. Mm-hmm. How many people do you come in contact with? And to what depth do you interact with them? That's it.
Yeah.
That's all you're measuring.
Yeah.
Okay?
I mean, it's simple.
It's super simple. And so when I and I gave this example to the kids from the I Am Foundation the other day.
Great foundation.
Fantastic. Yeah. And thank you for the introduction.
Yes.
And they probably owe you a lot for that introduction.
They don't owe me anything. Great foundation.
Yeah, yeah. So I told him, I said, what if you were a Walmart greeter? How many people do you interact with every day? Quite a few. To what depth do you touch them? Zero.
Yep.
Like, I don't even know why Walmart's paying those people. I said, now imagine you're a cardiac surgeon. How many people are you doing heart surgery on in a day?
Yeah, it ain't many.
One or two?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I don't know.
At most.
Right?
Probably, yeah.
Right? But to what depth did you just interact with that person?
Yeah. To their core.
To their core. Right?
Yeah.
And how much money does that guy make compared to the Walmart greeter?
Right.
So, but now let's just say, here you kids are, you don't have a lot of opportunities. You're young. You don't know shit. Most of these kids come from disadvantaged backgrounds. 120 of the kids are in the foster program.
Yeah.
So what if you got a job as a Walmart greeter? And being a motivated individual that you all are, you thought to yourself, I have every person come through the door as an opportunity. Now, how do I maximize that opportunity? Mm-hmm. How do I interact with them in a way that would be meaningful to them? Right? Now, you're not going to get paid any more for doing so.
Not getting paid anymore.
Right? But you think about it and you're like, I think I have an idea. So next person that comes to the door, you ask them, excuse me, thanks for coming to Walmart. What's the first item on your grocery list today? And they told you, and you're like, oh, that's aisle 14. Just go halfway down. It's up on the top shelf.
Yep.
They're going to look at you like, what the hell just happened?
But thank you.
They might fall over. I mean, I would literally fall over if I walked into Walmart and that was my first interaction.
I'd give them a fist bump or something.
Oh,
you know
absolutely,
what I mean?
Absolutely, right? Yeah. Now,
you probably just gave Walmart an idea too.
I mean, please take it, Walmart. Holy shit. No, I mean, don't get me wrong. I don't care. I refuse to set foot in grocery stores or gas stations. So I order everything online and I drive an electric car. So, but I was like, now, what's going to happen? What is the natural course of consequences to you doing this? Do you think that your boss might see you and promote you?
Not going to happen.
It might not.
Yeah.
It could.
It could.
Why couldn't it? If you saw one of your employees go above and beyond, would you promote them?
The context is Walmart setting.
No, exactly. No, and you're not the first person to make that argument.
From my setting, I absolutely would be thinking, hey, there's something else going on.
I don't think as disparagingly at Walmart as most people, though I'd refuse to set foot in one.
Yeah.
But that is an option. It is a possibility.
It is a possibility.
That your management, and whether or not we're talking Walmart or any other business, by you doing this, is going to see that, pick up on it, and promote you. Now,
a good manager.
Now, there's also very toxic work environments where by you doing that, you're making everybody else get mad, and the roving band gang of Walmart greeters that doesn't want to actually do anything is going to come and beat you up in the back alleyway for trying to make them look bad, right? I said, so let's just say it is a toxic work environment. You don't have the right management, and they aren't going to reward you for doing any of this. Who's walking through the doors of Walmart?
A lot of people.
A lot of people. You don't think one or two of them own a company?
Very good chance.
You don't think somebody that owns a company
or a supervisor
that
might be hiring
anybody that's in charge of hiring? You don't think there's people hiring people going through the doors of Walmart every day?
Right.
And you don't think so? And I'm like, and if you think I'm lying to you, my first corporate job was offered to me by Nicholas Napoli in the parking lot of a Phillips 66. It was my last day. I was making $6.15 an hour plus tips pumping gas in New Jersey. And this guy walks up to me and hired me from pumping gas because of his interactions with me pumping his gas.
Right. Yeah. It's kind of like the guy on the street corner, instead of begging for money, he's got he's in a suit and tie and he's got a resume.
Yeah.
And he said, "Hey, I'm looking for work.
I'd like to
would
work.
Would you like my resume?"
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, anything. You don't even need a suit. Have a sign that says, "Do you need your lawn mowed?"
Right. Right. The total difference. So it's about mindset.
It's all about mindset. And so back to your question, the way in which business owners cheat themselves. I believe, and not just business owners, but all humanity cheats themselves in regards to their money mindset. And they convince themselves that there are things that have more value than money. And I believe money is like the most sacred thing there is in this world.
Mm-hmm. You're not loving money. You're just saying that it's sacred.
I think it's absolutely 100% sacred.
Right.
And here's why. I believe, back to measuring, what is it really measuring? Right? Money is a lot of things. It can be a tool. It's a measurement of goods and services. Ultimately, though, your money is a measurement of you. Mm-hmm. All your God-given gifts, abilities, intelligence, work ethic, your parental upbringing, your life experiences, your education, all of it. Everything that you are goes into what you do every day and gets condensed down, boiled down to $1. You can tell me I'm wrong. You can tell me that sucks.
True.
You can tell me it's horrible. I don't care.
It's reality.
It's reality.
Yeah.
Every day you wake up, you're going out into the world, and you're bringing with you all these things that you are into the marketplace, and you're getting money. And so when you think about money like that, right, it should really start to bother you that people are so free with throwing it away. Mm-hmm. And the reason why I say it's the most sacred thing is because I watch spouses come and go. I watch kids come and go. I watch business partners come and go. And you don't have any control over that.
No control.
You wake up one day, you find out you're getting divorced. But what you should never voluntarily let go is that measurement of your life, right? Mm-hmm. And people let it go in all sorts of crazy ways. And so I know someone who values what I would say is ego over money. He loves to put himself in a position of being mentoring to people and cutting them breaks and helping them out, right? And he constantly shortchanges himself financially. But he's not just shortchanging himself by not charging appropriately. Who else is he shortchanging? His family. Mm-hmm. Because when he doesn't have the money to fix things around his home and to properly care for his home and to properly provide for his family, mm-hmm. that's who he's really shortchanging. And he's doing it so that out in this public eye, he has all these sycophants that are all, and he thinks grateful.
Right. But they're not.
Hell no, they're not.
Yeah.
And so it's a false, it's absolutely like a false construct, a false everything. And the only person that's being harmed is really his loved ones.
Right.
He's getting something. He's getting his ego stroked. And I don't know why that's of more value than $1.
Yeah, right.
Right. But the same thing happens in corporate work environments. And you probably employ some of these things. So I'm not bashing them completely. But like, I've never understood why somebody is happy with a certificate telling them they're employee of the month and putting their picture on a wall.
Yeah, I don't.
But
there's people value that.
Holy shit, they do. And there's numerous studies that show that is actually more beneficial for a company to do than to pay more.
Yeah. It's true. It's because people want that recognition, right? I mean, not to go on a huge soapbox, but I think social media has just amplified that.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? To give people a platform of likes and clicks. I bet you if a company had a all their employees on a wall, and they were a digital where you could like or love or whatever, and they started measuring that based off of their employee of the month.
Right.
I mean, that'd be really scary.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
You'd have
yeah.
like little tickers or whatever, people walking by. But
Yeah.
I mean, but that's in essence what it is. People want that recognition. They want it because I think we're made to be relational.
Yes.
We're made to connect.
Yes.
Right? We're not made to be isolated.
Yes. And so the problem is it takes discipline, it takes logic, it takes pragmatism to go, you know what? I understand I like this recognition I'm getting from these people that are renting space from me, but I am not charging appropriately. And not only is it hurting my loved ones, I would make a case for you that it's hurting those people you're charging.
Mm-hmm.
Because when you fail, and you don't have to just fail,
Yeah.
when you retire, what's going to happen to these people? In this particular case, in order to bring the rents to market value, it would be a 5-time increase.
Yeah. Oops.
What'd you just do to all of these people who you allowed
Yeah.
to skate by on a fraction of what they should be paying? You've eliminated their motivation because necessity is the mother.
Yeah. Yep.
Right? You've eliminated the necessity. You've eliminated the motivation. You've allowed them to operate their own business in a less efficient manner than what it should have been. You've allowed them to undercut the market price and not charge appropriately
Right.
because you're not.
Huge ripple effect.
It's a huge ripple effect.
Yeah.
And so you're not just cheating yourself and cheating your family, you're cheating the people you're charging.
Yeah.
And there's a great example in this in my own business model. In the financial world, there's guys out there that just sell, for the most part, like annuities and life insurance and whatnot. They get paid, they can get a commission up front, and there's like usually 3 comp structures.
Yeah, right.
One is all commission up front with no trail. One is all trail.
All trail.
And then the one in the middle is some up front and some trail.
Right.
The majority take all up front. All right. So now imagine you just sold this product and you just got 10,000, 20,000, whatever, right?
Yeah.
There's no more revenue associated with that person. But you sold them a contract that needs servicing every year.
Right.
You took all the money and you spent it.
What motivation do you have to continue that relationship?
But let's just say you're a good person, so you do.
Yeah.
What happens when you retire? So the first business I bought had hundreds of these kind of people. People who had been depending on someone to manage their retirement plan because 10 years earlier, the guy had earned a commission.
Yeah.
And then I came along and I bought the business. I cut 114 people loose in a week. And it wasn't like I didn't give them an alternative. I told them, you can either pay me $650 a year
or not.
Or not.
Yeah.
I don't care.
Yeah.
Right? And I just realized that entire system is shit.
Mm-hmm.
You're coaching and training people. What was funny is like one of these guys' clients, $12 million net worth, retired veterinarian, he would leave outside his door. I mean, on the street. I'm not talking about like in a building, in the suite, still in the building. I'm talking about the front door was the outside.
Yeah.
Bags, Walmart bags of bills, financial statements, tax forms. He'd literally leave them hanging out there. At like 7 a.m, this guy would come in. He'd have to go through all this guy's mail, organize what? Because he sold him an annuity 10 years earlier.
Yeah, no thanks.
And that guy didn't find, and here was the kicker, right? And it goes back to the same guy that's undercutting real estate markets.
Right.
When that guy where $12 million was faced with having to pay $650 a year to get that exact same service to continue, did he find it to be of value or not? No. Wasn't worth it to him.
Right.
And I looked at this guy and I go, dude, what did you just learn? Here you are, busting your butt, organizing all this bullshit multiple times a year for this guy, spending hours.
Right. And for what?
And he didn't even find it to be worth $50 a month.
Yeah.
Whatever that comes out to be.
Right.
less than $50 a month.
Right. But it comes down to value, right? So that was the first part is what holds owners back is their mindset around value.
Absolutely.
They're not
it's
treating
money mindset, it's value.
Right. They're not treating money as as something very sacred.
Yes.
Right. And as a
measurement
reflection
of
of the measurement of who they are.
Yes.
Not who they are, but what the services they provide.
Well, but it is who you are.
Yeah.
What's wrong with it? What's wrong with saying, I know who I am. I'm a good person who works hard, who studies, who's invested his time and effort to be really good in my business. I provide a value. I'm a father. I'm a husband. I do all these things.
Nothing wrong with it.
Right? And I'm bringing all that to the table. Right? And in exchange, what am I getting for? I'm getting money. Why does the money devalue what I just gave? How in the world can I look? So I'm just going to use the most extreme example, right? Client gets murdered. Double homicide and a suicide, right? Family comes in, and I bring the CPA, the estate planning attorney, the financial advisor, and the insurance guy, and we handle every single thing that needed to be done. So this family didn't have to make multiple trips all over town, sort anything out, face a bunch of unknown. They were already dealing with the worst grief imaginable.
Right.
So that's what I provided. Is there any way to tell me that that's not sacred?
It's very sacred.
And what did I get for it? What did I get? What did I get for it? I got money.
Money.
How in the world can this be sacred and this not be?
Right. They need to match.
They have to.
Yeah.
And yet, for some reason, we go out and we give of ourselves. And you don't have to, it doesn't have to be such an insane thing. It can be providing smoothies.
Yeah, whatever. Yeah.
Right? Because you're not really providing smoothies.
It's a service behind it.
And I don't even think it's the service behind it. I think your ultimate value is what you're doing for the community and with regard to the kids that you hire and you coach and you mentor and you train that are providing the smoothies. I think your entire business model is like you're making money off bringing up the next generation of kids, essentially.
Yes.
And you're just using smoothie slinging to do it.
Yeah, it's a mechanism, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Right? But that to me is like your value to the community is what you're doing for all those kids that work for you, right? You're telling me that's not sacred?
It's very sacred.
Absolutely it is.
Yeah.
It's a sacred honor, right?
Right. It is an honor.
Just as what I'm doing.
Right.
Right? And then somehow we think that these things that we do get translated over into something that is horrible, that's bad, that's evil, that's dirty. Like, how did this happen? It just confuses me.
Yeah.
And then because of that, what do? We don't charge appropriately, right?
We cut deals.
We cut deals all the time.
We cut corners.
Yeah. I tell people all the time, I don't take discounts and I don't offer them. So a friend of mine owns a glasses company. They sell the most worldly insane expensive sunglasses. And I was just trying to support him. So I call him up, and his daughter, in the summertime from college, comes home from college in the summer. She, calls all of his friends and horks us into burning thousands of dollars on sunglasses. And he's like, yeah, because you're a member of the club, you get a 25% discount. That 25% discount's $1,200.
It's a lot of money.
It's a lot of money. And I'm like, dude, I don't take discounts. They're like, what are you talking about? Well, yeah, I don't take discounts. I don't offer them, and I don't take them. He's like, and he didn't know what to do. I'm like, dude, give it to your daughter. Give her an extra $1,200 for selling these sunglasses then.
Right.
He was floored. They just couldn't wrap their head around it.
Yeah.
And I'm just sitting here going, if you're a friend, why am I trying to get a discount off of you?
Right. You should pay full service.
Absolutely.
The support.
Absolutely.
But it's the other way around, though. Just people think because you're my friend.
Yeah, you're going to give me a deal.
You're going to hook me up, right?
Yeah.
And they kind of tout and all that. But then it's like, well, what do you get out of it? Like, you do it out of the goodness of your heart and to support and to love and all these other kind of things, right? But then it almost feels abusive at some point. We're all guilty of it. Don't get me wrong.
Absolutely.
We're all guilty.
I mean, you brought me some of your new toast and I ate it and didn't pay you for it, but
it was good though. It was good toast. You got the sneak preview. You got the sneak preview.
Yeah,
it
was even better.
Smoothie King.
I should have paid extra to get the sneak preview. Instead, I got it for free. Right?
Yeah.
And so, so I just think, and it's not just business owners, but we're speaking about the context of business owners. I think all of humanity has a really screwed up money mindset and does not understand it. And that trickles down into every other aspect of their life, from an employee not asking for an appropriate pay for their job, or allowing a certificate that was printed out on the office machine and stuck in a 99-cent frame to motivate them, to a business owner not charging their clients appropriately. I got to tell you another funny story. So my second year on the job, I did something I never saw coming. I made $100,000 in a day, $106,000.
That doesn't suck.
No, it didn't. And considering that was more than my entire paycheck for the previous 30 years of my life.
Yeah.
Right? Well, 30. Yeah. So anyways, I'm sitting in this client's home and I tell him, now, after you sign these, and I'm 100% transparent about everything. So I'm like, just so you know, these two contracts that we're implementing today, here's my commission on this one, here's my commission on that one, and that's $106,000. And I said, and by the way, you still owe me $1,250 from your planning fee. What do you think their response was?
Okay.
No.
He pushed back on you?
Yeah, it was, well, why would I owe you $1,250 if you're making $106,000 right now?
That's chump change, right?
Yeah, that's what they think, right?
Yeah.
And this person is a surgeon, and I just looked at him, I go, well, I don't know. Why do you guys charge me for follow-up appointments after you've already done a surgery?
Mic drop.
Yeah, it was awesome. They just looked at me like, okay.
Yeah, mic drop.
Right?
You know what I mean? Yeah.
Yeah, and it's just funny to me that, like, you got to be the one to point that out.
Yeah.
Right? It's like, it's good for you. Like,
But, it's interesting when, not to go on a tangent, but this is a coaching topic that I always have, but it's like, you need to be firm in your pricing and you need to stand by it, right? And if people are asking and haggling or whatever, two things are going to result from it. One is that when you push back and you hold firm, they're going to say, okay, they're confident because you're confident, right? And they understand the value and they move forward. Or if they keep pushing back and keep haggling, you know what the response is? Never mind.
Yeah.
You're not my client.
No.
I don't want to work with you.
I don't want to deal with this rest of my life.
I don't want to deal with this, right?
Yeah.
Because you're devaluing my service.
Yeah.
Right? So why are you devaluing me?
Yeah.
And what I'm trying to provide, and that's that money mindset concept.
Yes.
That we have to get our head really wrapped around, is that when we accept somebody's offer or deal or whatever to try, we are devaluing the work that we are doing.
And I think, and I believe it's wildly important in my line of work. It's important on all. But when you're dealing with people's money, there is nothing more important than integrity. Mm-hmm. And if you negotiate with me, what does that tell you about my price to begin with? If I allow you to negotiate with me, it meant my price never needed to be what I put it at. And I believe that subtly in your subconscious, that has to make you question my integrity. Mm-hmm. And if I give you a deal, did someone else get a better deal?
Yeah. I mean, it snowballs. Can snowball.
Absolutely. Right? And so, again, to go back to Landmark, they have this saying, and it is my all-time favorite, that integrity is the necessary and sufficient, or integrity is necessary and sufficient for workability. And what I love about that is it's hard, you got to say it a couple times. So integrity is necessary and sufficient. So it has to be there, and it's all that's required. Mm-hmm. I don't have to agree with you. We don't even have to like each other.
Right.
None of that's required.
Right.
Integrity is.
Integrity is required.
Right? And if I tell you, and I understand we live in a society where everybody wants a deal and a price and coupons and blah, 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 right? But in certain businesses, certain industries, I'm saying, like, I believe that this is my price This is my value. I do not negotiate on it. And that's fine, because guess what? I tell people all the time, between wherever you drove from and here, you passed 1,000 of us. We're like cockroaches.
Yeah.
You know, you don't need to pay me what I charge.
Right.
There's 1,000 other guys that'll do it for less.
Right.
And if that's what you value, you're welcome to go find one of them.
Right. But that's how we cheat ourselves. That's one of
Yes.
the ways that we were talking about.
Yeah.
We cheat ourselves by not valuing money as the way it should be in relation to how it correlates to us.
Yes.
Right? And so there was two other points of cheating.
Yeah. Well, and I don't know, because I talk myself into forgetting, but I thinking about it right now, I would say the other one is not having somebody to hold us accountable. I think it's a major way in which we cheat ourselves. We go around through life as business owners having to hold everybody around us accountable, right? And we put ourselves in positions not to have ourselves held accountable. And that's not good.
It's terrible.
Yes. And you're never going to achieve your potential without you creating an environment that holds you accountable, bringing the people into your life to do it. And so, again, it's why I love being part of Huddle. It's why I have these other people in my life. It's why I cultivate a culture even with my employees where they can hold me accountable. I think money mindset and accountability are two major ways in which business owners cheat themselves.
Yeah. I mean, the thing about having outside accountability and not inside is we sometimes get so caught up in our own Kool-Aid.
Yeah.
Right. We're drinking our own Kool-Aid
absolutely.
all the time.
All the
right?
time.
And we have to surround ourselves with people who are not drinking the same Kool-Aid or any Kool-Aid.
Yeah.
To be able to provide that outside perspective that we need to see and hear. And quite frankly, probably one of the most difficult things for me is when I have to go to a business owner and tell them, you're wrong. Right?
Yeah.
No, you're looking at this wrong. And they want to be defensive and they want to fight it. And I get it, right? And there's a more delicate way to tell them that they're wrong, right? I'm not just going, you're wrong. There's a way to deliver that message.
Slap them first.
Yeah, absolutely.
Hard. You're wrong.
You're wrong, you know?
Right.
But the point of it
pattern
is,
interrupting.
it is. It's a pattern interrupt. Yes. That's it. It's a pattern interrupt, right? But because we drink our Kool-Aid so often that we have this blindfold on and we need that blindfold to be taken off. And the only one that can take it off is somebody who's not wearing a blindfold.
Absolutely.
Right. And it can be hard to hear that you're wrong in a strategic decision or way that you're going to go about things. And we know we want to own it. It's our decision. It's the thing that we have to do. And if we're told we're wrong, oh, wait a minute, you know, like you want to fight it.
Yeah.
But if we can be open-minded,
yes.
and I think that's what we cheat ourselves out as a third point is sometimes we're just not open-minded enough to be able to hear hard news or a hard perspective that could change the course of the path that we're going down.
Absolutely. This is something, and by the way, I love your comment about, like, you can't take the blindfold off unless you're not wearing one, right? Because usually when I'm blindfolded, I'm also handcuffed to bedpost, but...
Another day, another story.
Another day, another story. But one of the things that I've noticed in being part of all these clubs and masterminds and stuff, it's interesting to me how people will tell their story, right, and what they're struggling with, and then everybody goes around the room, and you're getting all this input.
You're referring to the Huddle, right?
Well, right now I'm referring to all of them.
Okay.
They're all the same. This happens at every one I've ever been to.
Yeah. And you've been to a lot of them.
No, for real.
Yeah.
Okay. It's the same thing at every one. Okay. That when the business owner who just got done talking about what their problems are, and then you go around the room. I've watched this occur with pro sport team owners, tech giants. It doesn't matter. To little operators that have one location in a town like Lenexa, Kansas.
Yeah, owner-operators, yeah.
Doesn't matter. They present these problems they're dealing with, and then it goes around the room, and what does the person who presented the problems do every time?
Defense.
Nonstop defense. They're not listening. They're not open. They're not absorbing anything. They're not thinking about, okay, well, even though he's not maybe 100% right, like the guy that told you about the influencers, right?
Mm-hmm.
I don't need you to be 100% right. But instead of thinking what elements within what he's telling me could apply, it's just defense and no, defense and no, defense and no, defense and no. And a lot
Tried
of
that.
Yeah, oh, I've done this. I've done blah, 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 blah. And a lot of them just sitting there going like, why the hell are we having this conversation? Right? Yeah.
But then they're not only the defensive and they don't have that open-mindedness to it, right? It's like, then why are you even here? Why do we even have this accountability and peer group? And and I've heard that, and that's why, like with the huddle, like it sometimes, we all do get a little bit defensive, and it's just kind of the natural of who we are. But I feel like there's good members that we have in our group that are actually like, yeah, you know what? That's a valid perspective.
Yeah. Now, hopefully, after we leave, all this stuff still run through our head.
Right.
And even if we were defensive, right, it can work on us in the background. And maybe we wake up at 3 a.m.
and go,
because that happens. One thing I've seen that helps is, and I've been meaning to bring this up to you, to change the format just a skosh, where the person expresses like what their issues are with, and then no one is allowed to present solutions yet.
Got it.
They have to ask clarifying questions first.
Yep.
And you go completely around the room asking clarifying questions before any solutions are given. Because that's one of the other funny things, I think, while we're talking about mindsets and everything. I do find it, and I think this goes to who we all are, right? Because I think we're all egotistical. I mean, I know I am.
Well, you have to be being an entrepreneur. You've got to have a level of confidence when you're doing things.
Yes.
Right.
And so somebody gives you this surface level overview of their problem, and guess what? I know exactly what you need to do to fix it. No, you don't.
It happens all the time.
Yeah. And it's like, wait a minute. Like, we probably should take some time to gain a deeper understanding before we go popping off at our mouth. And I think if we did that, it would enable the person who presented the problem to be less defensive right out of the gate.
Agreed. Yeah, because you gain more understanding.
Yeah. And then there's one other area in which, and I don't, and I think this is going to segue into another topic you want to talk about. But I think business owners also cheat themselves by never diversifying out of themselves and their business. And I know we're going to come at it from the other direction as well, right? Because I don't believe anything's ever a better investment than in yourself, right?
So explain that. Like, let's roll a scenario by.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's say it's the end of the year.
Yep.
You've got $10,000 just sitting in your bank account.
Yeah.
And I'll feel you more, but you have $10,000 where you're just like, what should I do with this money?
Yep.
Should I go buy a truck? Should I go buy whatever? Should I buy more equipment or blah, blah, blah?
Yeah.
A lot of ways you can spend 10 grand.
Yes, there are.
Okay. So if you've got that cash, is it better to put it in the market? Is it better to buy an asset from a tax write-off, or try to roll that into investing in yourself through peer groups or masterminds or a business coach or whatever? Where do you feel like they're going to get the most juice out of that squeeze?
So this is where I think you should take some percentage of it, 5, 10, 15, or 20, and invest it in the market. And the rest of it into yourself.
So a majority of it in yourself.
Absolutely, all day, every day. But not all of it.
Right. Because you want to be diversified.
Well, it's wildly crucial as an entrepreneur, right? I tell people all the time that if I wasn't in this particular type of industry, like, I'm such a shitty business owner. If I wasn't in the industry I'm in, I'd have never survived, right? But every day I wake up and go to work, I create a bigger income stream. Like, I could literally quit working and have more money flowing in for the rest of my life than the majority of people ever have a chance of earning in a year. And I did that in 10 years, right? And that money will, all
It
I have to
just
do is,
keeps on-
all I have to do
yep.
is maintain, nurture the basket, and that money that just keeps flowing.
Mm-hmm.
Right. But how many businesses are like that?
There's not many. I mean,
For real.
banks, anybody in finance.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah,
anybody
yeah,
in
yeah.
financials. I mean, that's
Yeah.
really it, right?
Yeah.
But if you've got a cost of goods, you're in the trades or
Yeah.
technology services, even
Yeah.
if you've got
I
a
have
year
no
agreement.
product.
Yeah.
There's no cost of goods that can climb on me. I could lose my biggest client. I don't even know who it is, and it wouldn't matter. Right.
Mm-hmm.
So I think it's important for most business owners to actually invest in themselves indirectly by creating a nest egg, a fallback, a protection mechanism.
Yeah.
Right. Now, if you want to do it a really smart way, you're going to want to set up a micro-captive reinsurance company. All right. And that's a great way to siphon money out of your primary business, tax deferred, over into a holding entity that can loan it back to you or invest it in you later without having to pay taxes on it. So there's a plug.
Another topic.
Another topic.
It's
All
a
right?
good topic, though.
Yeah. Just throwing it out there. All right. But yeah, I think that when we don't, it's the same thing that I tell couples who are married and working W-2 jobs. And this really works really well when you have a husband and wife who in today's societal structure are both working.
Mm-hmm.
And I had just wonderful clients. The wife made twice what the husband did. And they were at a very low point in their marriage. I actually had to tell her, I said, I don't care how you talk to your husband outside of these walls, but you will not talk to him like that while you're in meeting with me. That's how bad it was. Okay. He wasn't motivated to get more education. He wasn't motivated to earn more money. And she viewed everything she spent money on as a household expense, while everything he spent money on was just him pissing money away.
Right.
Okay. And so it was pretty amazing. In a matter of about 2 months, we completely transformed their marriage. All right. And we did it by starting with invest in yourself, just
Right.
not in yourself in the sense of a business. It was, hey, look, before any money goes to the household pot, some percentage of it, the same for both of you, should go to bank accounts. You're adults. If you can't have a bank account the other one doesn't have access to, get divorced.
Right.
So you should each have your own bank account. They should not be to where the other one can monitor it. And 5% of your paycheck or 10% of it or whatever you want it to be should go to your account. And the same percentage of your paycheck should go to yours. And guess who gets more money?
Right.
The one of you that's earning the most money, because you earn the most money. That's the way it works as an adult.
Right.
Right? Then the rest of it can go into a pot that you divvy up for household expenses. But then I also had to point things out to the wife. By the way, your ridiculous Target bills every month, like you're getting to spend money and blame it all on the kids.
Right.
That's not real.
Right.
That's bullshit. Right? So if you want to tell him that when he goes to fill up your car with gas and buys a soda and a candy bar, that somehow like that's supposed to come out of his 5 or 10%, you're about to get a budget on Target.
Right.
Right? And your kids don't need $2,000 a month daycare. You ain't the royal family.
Yeah.
Right? And so all of a sudden with some little minor changes, they both gained autonomy and freedom as adults. And it was actually the wildest things occurred. He ended up getting promoted, tripling his paycheck without even trying. It was just like he was
He was just a happier dude.
Just a happier dude. And all these wonderful things came to them because of it, right?
Right.
They got a bigger house they could easily afford. It was just awesome. It was this amazing transformation.
Yeah.
But I really think that like as a business owner, if you don't ever stock money aside, outside, because our businesses can always suck up every dime they generate.
Easily.
And I watch so many people grind and toil away for 20, 30 years in their primary business. And yeah, it's a great asset, hopefully, but it's like if you just took 5 or 10% of what that business was generating and put it aside into the stock market or something else, I think you would find eventually an incredible resource.
Yeah, you would.
That you'd be able to use in lean times, you'd be able to use when something bad happens, things like that. And so I think it's imperative that you would think about investing yourself in different ways. There's investing yourself in gaining knowledge, which I'm constantly doing. I just go through book on tape. Yeah. One after the other.
Right.
One I'm currently in is The Passive Investor, all about real estate, investing in real estate as a passive investor. So you want to be investing in yourself through education. You want to be investing in yourself through mentorships and accountability coaches. Yep. You should be investing in yourself in your marriage and your children. You should be investing in yourself in your primary business, and you should be investing in yourself financially outside of your business.
Right. Yep.
So
if we were to summarize everything we talked about into one word or into a sentence, it would be business ownership sucks. You're on and I. No, I'm just kidding.
No. Actually, so here's my idea about business. This is what I tell people all the time. I was told early on as a young kid, 9 out of 10 businesses fail. And I'm like, so you're telling me all I got to do?
You're telling me there's a chance.
You're telling me I can just fail 9 times and then end up rich as shit?
I'm in.
Sign me up, right? It's
good odds, right?
Yeah, it's like SEER school in the military.
Yeah.
Oh, you're going to nail me to a wall and torture me for 2 weeks? Okay. I can handle that.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah, being a business owner, it can suck.
There's times that it sucks, and there's times that it's great, right?
Yeah. I honestly think it's the last great masculine pursuit. And I'm not saying women can't do it.
There's a lot of great women at business owners.
Oh my goodness. I think they're better at it than we are.
Yeah.
Right? I'm just speaking as a man.
Yeah.
Right? It's the last dangerous thing you can do in this life. Our society is so soy latte'd out. Right? Why do you think soccer is a thing? Because somebody let women decide football's too violent, right? And now we're trying to convert over to flag football, and Mahomes out there wearing a helmet that looks like he's Sinbad from that Arnold Schwarzenegger Christmas movie with his giant dome helmet on, right?
The jingle all the way.
Yeah. It's let the guy get a couple concussions for crying out loud. We're men, And it's like, what is your son? What is your, and I'm just focusing on guys because I'm a guy. Like, what is there to do anymore that maxes you out, that pushes you to the extreme edges of what you're capable of?
Yeah. Because you're betting on yourself.
Right? Absolutely.
You bet on yourself. And I believe there's no better bet than to be on yourself because it's all on your shoulders at that time.
Of course there is.
You don't have everything to control, but there's a lot you can control.
No. Okay. So one of the books I just got done reading is called I Am. Now it's pricey. It's $250. But there is the very last page. He makes you read a chapter 5 times in a row. And I'm not going to get this chapter right, or this paragraph right.
Yeah.
Okay. But the paragraph is that I am 100% responsible for all the sins of the world. All of them, 100%. It is all on me. And there's lots of books about this: extreme accountability, extreme leadership, right? There's none of this. Here's and I went through this recently because I'm dealing with a lot of problems that initially I could see what I was responsible for popping off at the mouth, which instigated a chain reaction, right? Not being organized with some paperwork. It's going to, cause me some problems, possibly, whatever, right?
Yeah.
But what I was trying to do is parse out what I was responsible for instead of just acknowledging that every single last bit of this I'm responsible for.
Right. Yep. I get it.
So,
but that's the bet of being a business owner, right?
well, yeah, it's the beautiful thing about it, right?
You are responsible.
Guess what? When you're the problem, guess what? You know how beautiful that is? You can fix it.
You can fix it. It's your problem.
Yeah. If I'm not the problem, I can't fix it.
Right.
You know?
Right.
So, that was the good thing about being in the military. When you weren't the problem, you just put a bullet through its head. It's the ultimate solution.
Yeah. But I mean, we've covered a lot today, right? And even though business ownership can be scary and entrepreneurship is scary, and there's a lot of decisions, there's a lot of components of unknowns and fears that can be there. It's all there.
Yeah.
But there's a beautiful side to ownership.
Oh, the whole thing.
I mean, when you looking at responsibility can be scary, but when you're talking about having responsibility of impacting employees and pouring life into them, giving them opportunity, training them, and helping give them a platform to be better, right? Like that's a great responsibility to have.
It is. I'm gonna give you another unpopular opinion. I don't even give a shit.
You know,
There's only one thing I care about in any of this. All of that to me is peripheral.
Yeah. I think it makes sense.
The most beautiful thing about it all is the wearing down of the edges of me, the sharpening of me, right?
Pushing you to get better and better and better.
One of my favorite quotes is, "I will take care of you for me, and I will take care of me for me." And imagine that mentality in a relationship, right? And so we all try to like make things out to be like altruistic, but ultimately, somebody asked me at the beginning of this year, as I was telling them this crazy shit I was going through, like, well, when does the good stuff come? And I let them like, dude, this is the good stuff. The fearful shit, the learning how to deal with like just the avalanche of shit that can come down on you at times, finding out how easy it actually is to deal with, having to have the hard conversations with your creditors or your family or your employees. Those hard conversations, that fearful shit, that's the good shit. Like, nobody grows when life's easy.
Yeah, nobody.
Like, do you ever see these stupid Instagram accounts where it's like somehow some fucker is spending the whole time in the crystal blue water of the ocean somewhere, kite surfing? If you do what you love, you never work a day in your life. You're not growing.
Right. You're not growing at all. You're stagnant.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And don't get me wrong, I love going to do that stuff occasionally. But you have a very short period of time to be alive. And you can do it really pretty much one of two ways. And if you want to do it where you grow as a person, there are only two things that will accelerate. Well, I'm going to say three. There are three paths available to you that will absolutely accelerate your growth and form you into the potential that you were born with. The first is marriage, the second is kids, and the third is owning a business. Those are the three highest pursuits of attainment life has to offer. And think of how few people anymore pursue any of those three.
A lot of people just throw it away, right?
They avoid, avoid. They'd rather go get a job with a W-2 and a 401k and health
security
benefits. Oh, it's all security. Robert Kiyosaki, one of my favorite quotes.
He's awesome. I love his board game too.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
But he has a quote. He talks about how people pursue three things in this life. Safety, comfort, and wealth. And they never attain any of them. And if you'd flip it around and go after wealth first, guess what you end up with?
Comfort.
All three.
And safety.
Well, really, safety is an illusion. There is no safety.
Yeah, right.
And anybody that's lived any amount of time knows this.
Yeah.
I don't care how much money you got. And that was my point with those billionaires I get to hang out with. When you get to find out that every one of them in the last decade has been on the brink of it all, you realize there is no safety.
Right, right.
And the minute you chuck that stupid idea out of your head, that's freedom.
Right.
Right?
Yep. So, but man, we covered a lot today, and I can't thank you enough for your feedback, your wisdom, the experiences that you've shared, the friendship that we have, because, really at the end of the day, it's people like you in my life that continue to push me further and further and to get me asking questions and to think about, man, what else can I be working on, right? What are things that I need to be doing to secure my future and my family, and how I need to have a different mindset and value system and all those things, right? And so it's people like you in my life that push me even further. And it's weird because here I am providing you coaching all the time, and yet it's kind of symbiotic, right?
Well, I think that's how you know a relationship's correct.
Yeah.
And I truly mean this for every relationship. Your relationship with your children is not correct unless that same statement can be made.
Right.
Your relationship with your spouse is not correct unless that same statement can be made. With your friends, with your employees, with your clients. Like, I want that statement to be able to be made about every relationship I have in this life.
Right. You're giving and receiving.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Totally agree.
So thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah. Just sit here and
thank each other.
Thank you. No, I'll refrain from saying the rest of that.
Yes. That's probably
it's like the Spider-Man meme. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Right. Yes. So, but again, just to kind of wrap up, business
wrap
ownership.
We need a Jerry Springer's final thought by Ryan Christopher.
The business ownership can be scary,
yes.
And there's a lot of unknowns, and that's what you sign up for.
It should be
when you start a business, but it's not all doom and gloom.
Embrace the suck.
And yes, embrace it, but have people around you. I mean, really the moral of the story of everything that we've talked about with ownership is the ones that are successful are the ones that really embrace and embody the fact that they've got a peer group of other owners, no matter what it is, or people that they can talk to about some of the toughest challenges out there to help encourage, motivate, and be held accountable. They help us have a higher standard of what we're trying to achieve.
Can I tell you what one of my biggest regrets is?
Mm-hmm.
For the first, 20 years of my adulthood, 25, especially being married with kids, I never networked. I had so much anxiety around being at work all day and then not just going home, supporting my wife, taking over, whatever, right? That I never networked. And I didn't think I knew how because of that. I didn't think I was any good at it. All right. And I didn't understand the value of having that network. And today, I believe your network is the single greatest, most important asset you'll probably ever develop. And to think of how much time I lost because I didn't understand it.
Right.
Right. And so, I think masterminds and all the rest of it are wildly important for a business owner.
Right. I agree.
Yeah. Priceless.
Yep.
So, all right. Well,
what'd we miss?
Is there anything on the list we needed to go over? We're professional yappers. Yeah, that's
Sweet.
all. That's all, Ryan.
There you go.
Yeah. Well, dude, it's been an absolute pleasure. I don't know. I'm gonna take my version of this and call it like a bonus backseat ballers.
Be careful how you word that.
That's it. Yeah.
Yes, and we'll chop it up, and I'm sure Stacy's got some content ideas of how to do reels and everything else. But
sweet.
Maybe we'll get lucky and beat Mike Bones 33,000.
Yeah. I mean, that was stunning.
Yeah.
So
Oh, good point.
Go, yeah. I mean, I don't want to do that.
You don't want to.
I'll never do that.
I don't know. Will it all be just in the captions? And
I think you just. I hate direct stuff like that.
It feels salesy.
Yeah, I don't do it.
Yeah.
I used to have on my website. If you click "Contact Us," it had a pop up that said, "If you're a good fit, we'll contact you."
That's awesome.
Yeah, it's fantastic.
That's sweet.
People are like, "Why do you have a website?"
Why do you have a
I'm
website?
Like, I don't know. I didn't want one.